head coach. You're locked into the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, thanks very much. Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins, they were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
A couple of 2-1 teams set to square off, and we're underway here in NFL Week 4. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Dolphins now as they get set to take over on offense. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. And here now a look at the Dolphins' offensive unit.
And they're coming off a good win on the road last week, but they do know that they have a home game next week. So all the focus has to be, can they get a second win on the road and make going home that much sweeter? That's the intention in this ball game.
On 2nd and 7, Jackson. He's going to look deep down the field. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And it's caught by Parker. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll get 5 on the dump-off there, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now it's Jackson. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 27-yard line. from Viking territory now. They'll come up 1st and 10 at the 27. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
A loss of 2 there. 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
At their own 27-yard line.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
52, 52.
3rd and long for Cousins. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Xavier Howard. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. Pose himself and keep fighting.
He talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 12 yards there and a first down. They'll throw on first down to Jackson. He finds his man Johnson. Just a 1-yard pickup on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
On 2nd down now, it's Johnson, and he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing is Cousins, and his throw's going to be incomplete.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the 1st down run goes backwards. Here's Jackson. They'll find Everett there, complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. On 3rd down, Jackson. They're able to locate Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A nice pickup of 23 on the 3rd down conversion. The 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
Johnson on the counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Play action. It's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Danielle Hunter in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So possession goes over here on the punt, and the Vikings will take over at their own 20-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still 2nd quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
Complete. Smith has it. And this won't be enough. A good secure tackle, and they stop him a few yards shy at the 46.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A curious decision to go for it, but it pays off with a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cousins. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Kind of surprised they accept the penalty.
The only thing that comes to mind for me is they want to move them back 5 yards because they feel good about their defense. But in most situations, you take the down. That's what counts more.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Give the sack to Jerome Baker.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. And the pressure gets to him again. Jerome Baker able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. A crazy sequence here. A huge gain that time, but it still leaves them well short for 4th down.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, he's picked off just shy of midfield. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
Lucky 48. Go ahead. Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, clock. Here we go.
Following the interception, Cousins going deep for Diggs. And lucky to get away with one there. That one nearly picked. 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now this one complete downfield on the left side. 22 yards there, a 1st down. Cousins now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a 1st down here. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. Now Cook running right. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
32, 50. Here we go,
From the red zone now, Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. To throw, Cousins. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
That's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 2 minutes to play, first half. It's 14-0. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Able to convert on 4th to bring up 1st and goal. That's a big 3 yards right there. This is 1st and goal and a golden chance to get a score back here before halftime. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed.
And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Give the sack to Aaron Lynch, the former USF Bull. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
Now Jackson. Underneath for Johnson. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
That's a real nice job right there, working the middle of the field, working against those safeties. And you know, partner, if you get your hips turned the wrong way, big plays can result.
And a big play resulted right there. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our... Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. Now a deep ball here, hauled in just past the 50. Touchdown, Vikings! Stefon Diggs with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. They go for just one here as it's up and good. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? and off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, it's Johnson. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that's but it winds up falling incomplete. 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. For the gain of 3, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Nothing doing on that one, and it'll be 4th down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
And now we move our focus to Stefon Diggs. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places.
He's got a man, complete. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one, 49 yards. What a game it's been for this duo.
They remind me of a good comedy team. They know how to play off of each other so well. No matter how one riffs, the other's right there to pick them up, and they are shredding them in this ball game.
52.
First down, here's Cousins. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Stefon Diggs. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. They go play action here on first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
23 yards, the final tally. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. A pretty good-looking run there on first down. That'll go for 9 yards, just short of the line to gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. They go to Johnson again. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down. They go play action with Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And they're going to bring this one back. It's a fumble return, a scoop and score for the Vikings. And a big turning point here in the second half, Charles, after that play.
All you're trying to do is change momentum, flip things around for your team. You're just trying to take the ball away. How about when you take it away and score? That really changes things.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their lead, they have seen it evaporate completely after such a good first half. They've been shut down here in the third quarter.
Searching for answers, trying to figure out what it's going to take to get back to where they were before. The big part of it is that sometimes you don't have to go exotic now. You go back to basics. Being able to run the football, string some things together, some effective passes, try and get a rhythm established again, and try and get back.
It's caught inside the 25. A big pickup of 38. They lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Kenyon Drake with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. He's given him a little jolt. Just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've gotten right back in this ballgame after a very sluggish first half. Back when you played, after a bad half in the locker room, is it usually the coaches or sometimes the players who are the most vocal?
It's usually the coaches. But I do remember one time in particular where the coaches started to talk about what they wanted us to do in the second half, and a couple of leaders stepped forward and said, Coach, we've got this, and pretty much ushered them out. And they delivered the halftime message. It worked, too.
And that's caught inside the 30. Cousins finding Diggs on a big one. 52 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
2nd and 10 now from the 27.
Good route here.
Cousins letting one go deep for the end zone. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Going to throw deep for the end zone. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings have once again taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again. Jackson. Caught. It's Wilson. They'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And it's taken in at the 9. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Vikings will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. And now out comes Minnesota. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach right on his play sheet.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
We got 3, fellas. We got 3. Quaker Omaha.
On 2nd and a couple. Cousins. It's complete to Diggs. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. Throwing on 2nd and 8. Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. A touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They need a touchdown, the 2-point conversion, and a field goal. Pretty good start to the drive, though.
Yeah, good start to the drive, but the urgency has to really be increased by both the players on the field and everyone on the sidelines. Got to make sure everyone is up and into this game.
2 yards, good enough for a first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Jackson from the shotgun. Over the middle, it's complete. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. A throw over the middle taken in. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Preston Williams, his first touchdown on the year, as his guys are back within a single score. Jackson. Coaches must really like to see that from the quarterback because he's had the interceptions in this game, but they're able to connect on the touchdown pass.
And teammates love to see that because they know that they miss blocks during a game, but they come back and make them later on. They miss tackles, right? They miss making plays, but the spotlight is magnified on your quarterback. And when he stands up to the pressure and comes back and throws a touchdown pass after throwing some picks earlier, they feel great about that guy.
And likewise for him personally, as a rookie quarterback, has to give him more confidence. They start the drive with Cook. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. They run it again with Cook. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine.
Crunch time, defense.
Cousins on first down. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And some space here. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. And he'll take this one down to the 36. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. Now the Dolphins will use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready.
And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play.
Here we go. Set. 15. Run. 15 line. 2 times. 3
Lock, he's set to take a knee, and that should do it for this ball game.
Set. 8. Read. And come.
So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one, were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for Minnesota, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll fall back to 500 at 2-2. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis,